Hello and welcome everybody. What is going on? So this is Mezame TV, and as you can probably tell, there is no video today, and the reason for that is actually quite simple. I'm currently away, so I'm not at home right now, so I am literally recording it with my phone's audio, so we're gonna see how this works out. Ultimately, I don't know how the quality is. There's probably gonna be a lot of background noise, but ultimately that doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm actually making this video, quote unquote, slash audio or whatever, on the Supercup. This is the preview for the Supercup. Now, the reason why I actually wanted to wait a little bit with this was because I didn't actually know who was going to be fit. I didn't know who was going to be ready. I didn't know who was going to be able to play. And ultimately, it turns out everyone is going to be able to play. Everyone will, everyone has travelled except the players that are injured. So that's like Bartstuber, Boateng, Ribéry actually travelled. Robin, he didn't travel, but he did return to team training. He returned to individual training today, so that's good news. Sanchez didn't travel, so Acosta didn't travel, of course, but we will basically have a good idea of who travelled, and so now I can actually tell what or I can actually predict what the lineup's going to be. Now, I've seen a lot of people say it's going to be a 4-3-3, but the majority of people have said a 4-4-2 with Vidal and Thiago right next to each other. Now, I was looking at that, and I kind of understand why people are saying that, but I was looking at it and I'm thinking, no, that's not going to happen. And the reason for that is actually pretty simple, because we're playing against Dortmund, and Dortmund, they like to transition quickly, they like to attack very quickly, very directly. So for that, you kind of need Alonso, because he is always deep, whereas Thiago and Vidal, they like going forward, they like the kind of freedom so that they can have to go forward. And that's why I don't think it's going to really work out with having both Thiago and Vidal, because both of them, they will naturally want to go forward. I know Thiago under Ancelotti, he's been playing a lot deeper, and it has, he has done that in pre-season so far. But would I trust him again in the Super Cup against Dortmund in that kind of new role for him, should I say? No, I wouldn't. Now, Ancelotti, he seems to be taking this very seriously. He's been saying, he's been quoting like the last 2 or 3 weeks now that he really wants to win this. He really thinks that the Super Cup, it is a good and important title. A lot of the fans don't think so. When you win it, everyone's just like, yes, it's an amazing title. When you lose it, everyone's like, it's only a friendly. I've always been of the opinion that every title is a title. Yes, that's just the way I look at things. So every title is a title. Doesn't matter if it's like a Mickey Mouse Cup or it's a Donald Duck Cup. I want to win it. If we're in it, I want to win it, and that's basically my opinion. That's basically my thoughts on every single match. But you guys already know that. But looking at the teams, like I said, I think Alonso is quite important just because he drops deep. He is always deep. He doesn't like going forward. He likes staying at the back. So every time Dortmund will try and attack, he can always slow the play down. He can always, direct the play towards the wings so that people from the front can come backwards, that people can give him cover. And that's the kind of thing that Thiago and Vidal, they don't really deliver. They can do that role, don't get me wrong. They can perform that role, but you're limiting their strengths, which is going forward and going backwards for both of them, I think. So I think I'll go with a 4-4-2, which I think is ultimately by the end of the game going to turn into a 4-3-3. But I'll go with 4-4-2 at the start, and I think the backline is pretty much guaranteed to be what I'm gonna say. Whereas the rest of the team, I am not 100% sure. But I think the backline, looking at on the left, Alaba, the 2 centre backs, you're looking at Hummels and Javi, and then at right back you're looking at Lam, and then like I said, I think a 4-4-2. So on the left, if Ribéry is gonna play on the left, I'll put Ribéry. If he doesn't play, Bernat. Well, obviously I do hope that Ribéry is gonna play instead of Bernat. That's just my personal opinion. But then you have Vidal, and yeah, I'll play Vidal instead of Thiago. Vidal and Alonso. I think Thiago will come in the second half for Vidal, but right now I think it's Vidal and Alonso, and then on the right you'll have Koeman, and the 2 strikers you'll have Müller and Lewandowski. Now the reason why I'm going with Vidal, it's because of Dortmund's strength. Now Dortmund, they're very direct, they're very physical, not physical, but they're very direct, very pacey, they're very fast, and very trickery as well. Now you look at the likes that the players that they've added to the team, Dembele and more. Then you look at the players they've already had, with Kagawa. Obviously, I'm including Götze here as well right now. So they have a lot of players that are very good on the ball, very quick on the ball, very very skillful on the ball. And for that, you kind of need Vidal, in my opinion, because he is relentless. Even if like a player gets past him with skill, he will chase that player throughout the whole pitch. just to get that tackle in, and that's why I think that's why I'll pick Vidal over Thiago at the beginning. But then ultimately, because I see us scoring first, I'll then put Thiago in to kind of control the game and settle it down a little bit more. But I think I'll start with Vidal, just until we score. I am predicting us to win, because I like always I predict us to win against every single team except Gladbach, because somehow we can't ever beat Gladbach. It's just what it is. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. We can't ever beat Gladbach. But considering that we're not playing against Gladbach, I think that we will win. And I do think I'll go with a 2-1 victory for us. I do think Lewandowski and Müller are going to score a goal each, with Coman and Ribery getting an assist. And then I do think the player for Dortmund that's going to score is going to be Dembele. Just because from what I've seen from him from the pre-season friendlies and whatnot, he looks very, very good. He looks very, very good, and I'm not just saying that because I'm not saying that because I thought we should have gotten him. I thought that we should have tried harder for him. I think that he's one of the best young talents in the world. But I do honestly, when I saw him, last season, when I saw him in pre-season for Dortmund this season, he has looked rock solid. He's looked amazing. Now talking about rock solid, we can't talk about Dortmund and not talk about the defense. Now during pre-season, it has looked pretty shaky. You're looking at two players that have really stood out. You're looking at the one player that has really stood out for them last season, and that was Socrates. So he's been standing. He's literally been the best defender for the last, I think, 2 or 3 seasons that he's been there. And I know I'm supposed to say Hummels has been the best defender because he is obviously playing for us now. But no, for me, Socrates has been very underrated. I think for me, I personally put him in like top 5 or maybe top 6 defenders of the world, top 5 or 6 centre backs in the world. But I think the reason why he doesn't get rated that high by everyone else is because he's a very standard, very classical centre back. He does his job. What he does is basically just defending. You don't get much more from him. Whereas with Hummels, you still get good defending, and you get the extra bonus of obviously having a ball-playing centre-back who's very good in the air, with which, with Socrates you don't really have. You just get your typical centre-back, But for me, Socrates, he's one of the top 5 or 6 centre-backs in the world. Very, very underrated. And if he finds this chemistry with Marc Bartra, then I think they can form a very solid defensive partnership. But the thing is, they haven't done so just yet, and that's gonna be the point that we will have to use. It's gonna be the advantage that we'll have to take, that their defensive partnership has not formed yet, and until it has formed, they will look shaky in defense, and they have looked shaky during preseason. Yes, they've scored goals like they always do, but they've looked very shaky in defense, and we'll have to exploit that if we want to win. So the space between Marc Bartra and Socrates is going to be the most important. So, in my opinion, we have to always go direct. That's why I would put Ribery on the left and Coman on the right. I know that Coman, he always wants to go on the outside, but Ribery, he'll always come on the inside, and that's going to be very advantageous for us because, like I said, there is a lot of space between Marc Bartra and Socrates that we can exploit, and I think that we should exploit if we really want to win. But like I said, I think it's going to be 2-1 for us. Tell me what you guys think, not just in terms of the match result, but also the lineup prediction. What do you guys think? How do you guys think will start? Who do you guys think will play? Do remember that we have a lot of injured players as well, but like Ancelotti said, even if you came back from the Euros only a week ago or 2 weeks ago, you're still going to play because it's only a one-off game and it's a finals. He wants to win, we want to win, everyone wants to win. Even if you lose, don't make an excuse. We all want to win, so that's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. Before I end this video, I just want to say 2 things. The first one is that if you have signed up for the Bundesliga, obviously for the Mir TV Bully Fantasy League on the official Bundesliga website, make sure to leave your team name in the description down below so I don't know who you are. So basically, I can write your name down in case you win, which you most likely won't, because like I said, I'm very confident. I'm a winner. I'm the greatest. I said that before I even knew I was. If you guys know who said that quote, props to you. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna lose the Bundesliga Fantasy League. Okay, I'm very confident in myself. I'm very confident in my team. But in case you do win, leave your name right now in the description down below so I know who you are, I know what your team name is, and ultimately if you do win, I know who to contact for the price. But ladies and gentlemen, the second thing that I want to talk about is that obviously I want to apologize for there not being an actual video, for there just being audio, but I'm not at home right now. Currently away actually at friends, but it's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you can rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace out. I don't know how the audio is going to be, but I'm hoping for the best. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.